So what's up guys? This is your boy Nick. Na manze, saa hizi nakaa niko na furaha kiasi juu I want to give a story juu this story can take even 10 minutes. And I decided to give this story juu nimekuwa nikicheki so many videos. I've been watching so many videos about people how they talk about their life. Um, in Europe, especially places like France, like German, others like in US, and also I decided that I am going to give my story too because I was a victim one day in 2019, 2020, and life was not easy for me. And this is the moment when you think like now you got a chance to have to go and now like in Africa when we live we come here, so what we do is that we try to help our families who are back at home. And when you get this chance, okay, I'm just going to go to this country, help people, work hard as I can, then go back home. And when I'm back home, maybe if I don't go back home or if I'm here, I also have my brothers who are struggling and also some neighbors who I know. Maybe I can just give them a chance and make also their life better. But my story didn't end good in 2020 because I received a letter. This letter is a letter when you get, and it tells you like right now you have to leave this country. So let me start my story back then because first of all, I came in Germany in 2015 May. And I don't know how this is a coincidence because after my deportation, after 2 years, I'm back again in Germany. It was planned that I come back on the same 1st May so that I can start working on the 2nd May. But I said no, let me just push this day. So I came back on 24th April. So that is 1 week before 20 of the set of the or the 1st May. But now the thing is, why and how did I go deported? A sad story. So this is where it started. So what it happened is that in 2019 or in 2015, let me just start. This story started back then because in 2017 I remember I got a school in a place called Erlangen. So those people who knows Erlangen. And when I went to the Erlangen, so I had to do a course. I'm a professional nurse, so I had to do a nursing course there, which is very marketable, especially here in Europe. And this was after I got some advice. Okay, Nick, you don't just follow this route. If you just want your life as support to be easier, just take this route. So for me, I was okay. I loved working as a nurse. So I went there and I met a friend. So let's call this friend, I'm just going to give him a name. And his name is, let's call him Tom. So Tom was also a Kenyan, a very good guy, but I never knew at the beginning that he was going through so many stress. So he had already started giving up, and he was drinking too much, and he had no courage again to live good life. So I remember whatever happened between me and Tom is that every day after my school, Tom could call me and tell me, okay, let's drink one beer. It's not bad. And then he could say, then I'm just going to pay. And this happened that instead of us drinking just one beer so that I can just go back and maybe do my studies, so we start drinking 1, 2, 3 beer, and then it came up to a point where we were drinking 10. So the next morning when I go to school, I was so stressed. I could not concentrate with my education. Life was not so easy. So after some time, I found no, I'm losing my dream. I cannot just be able to continue with my education well. And I decided no, I have to change the school because if you sometimes for me, I don't know whether I don't know whether I'm the person who have this problem, but what I know is that I don't like forcing things. So I went back to my manager. I told him, the school principal. I told him, no, I'm trying all I can, but still I have problem because I'm not performing well, and it is my wish maybe I can just change the school. So he looked at me and then he advised me, told me, no, Nick, do this way. You don't have to. You don't have to quit the school. So what you can do is that we can talk because you have another school in a place called Nürnberg. Then when you go there, you can start your education again. I went to Nürnberg and I started my education again. So life, it was for me more easier that time because I had already learned my mistakes. And right now, whatever I was just trying to see is that I wanted to walk away from this friendship because for me it was becoming more dangerous. And I did not want to become a person who doesn't achieve his own dreams. So to talk about something that I have not touched here, I was still in a relationship with someone from here. And this is mistake so many people make when they come here. They get in a relationship, then you are told that, okay, I'm in love. And this person who I never want to mention because I have nothing to do with her anymore. And I feel comfortable when she's not in my life because she was the person who played a very big role in destroying my life. She took me to another direction which I had not planned when I left Kenya. So it was for me a mess. So what happened is that every time I had a free time. So right now she took that advantage. So we used to meet and maybe we go to visit the family and then we stay there. Those are things that happen most of the time here in Europe when you're in a relationship. So you don't have your own free time. Then you have to leave your friends. You have you can't talk to anybody because she was controlling everything about me, and I was losing my weight day by day and becoming a useless person. But to me, that time life was okay because I never knew what was happening. So this is what happened now in 2019. So I had this friend of mine called Tom, and something I don't want to mention is that I came to realize because Tom has given with his own life, he used to collaborate with other guys here, I think from Spain, from Italy, and they were selling drugs. So that is something that is so common here in Europe. I don't talk this because I'm not a police or I'm not something, and maybe I don't know anybody because that is not my business. But I knew him that time. Maybe I don't have contact for him anymore. So, but I came to realize he was taking drugs and maybe he was selling them. And one day, I remember that was in 2019. I had to separate because we were not married, so we were just girlfriend and boyfriend. So we separated in 2019, and for me that time I was still struggling with my education because I needed to pass the exam and get a job. So after we separated, I had a very hard time, and still I was drinking a bit. But even though I was drinking, I still had some self-control at the moment. So I was still also fighting to see that I stop drinking completely, which I managed again. So what happened is that now at this point when you separate and you have been having someone who never gave you an opportunity that you can be having friends, so you become isolated and alone. And this is what happened to me. I realized that I was alone. and I didn't have any friends. So it started having now a kind of depression that I could not explain to my life. Who am I? What have I been doing here? Why don't I have friends? And right now I need to see another side of life. It was not easy. For me, I don't know how, people think just separating is okay, just bye bye, then everything is done. But that is not how things work. So, what happened is that I, I started drinking too much and I tried going for therapy. So, when I went to the therapy, the doctor told me, no, because of your situation right now, because you're going to school, what I would advise you is that you should first of all try um, to take some medicine, which that can help you through your journey. I remember that time because I live with my sister. She lives here, so I start seeing her. She was also stressed with my situation because I was losing weight every day. So when I started seeing how people, someone who have been close to you, like a family member, how they are behaving, so my thought came, maybe I don't want to see her stressed again. So I started having some suicide thoughts where I wanted to kill myself. So I tried the first time I remember what I did is that I this is let me just take this one. It was so funny because I talked to myself that night. I said that I'm just going to drink too much. Then I go to the street, wait when the cars are passing through the street right. Then I just jump and get knocked. I die. It was That's how I thought it would be easier. But no, I just drank. I woke up the next day at allowed I think it was allowed 12. So you cannot just go to commit suicide during daytime. So the plan never happened. So right now I had so this feelings. Maybe I was just trying to reconcile with my ex, and maybe we can come back and talk about life again. So what I did through stupidity and everything, through desperation and loneliness, because those things they just work that way. I started lighting her, and then she never responded. So because I knew where she was living, I said, okay, let me just go there and meet her in person, and then we can talk this like people. But I had some feminine character at that time. I was crying too much. Sometimes when I look my life back, I'm like, no, this didn't happen. So what happened is that I just took a train. I went where she was living, and then she decided to, no, we can't talk this anymore. So what we are just going to do is that I'll have to bring you back to the train station, and then you can just go back home. And I had a plan now. When I'm just going to get inside that car, I'm not going to put my safety belt. And when she's driving, I just open the door because she has an old auto. So it was no, right now the driver can control whether you can open the door or not. That's her car was not that way. So you can just open the door and she's driving. And then I jump, then I got hit, and then I died. Oh man, Satan is sometimes afraid of someone when you have problems because what happened is that I it succeeded. As she was driving around 80 kilometers per hour, I opened the door and I had to jump. I got knocked. I remember I have some mark here, somewhere here, and my head somewhere. When my bumper is making my hair, he always tell me, "Oh, your hair is going." It was an accident because I just got knocked, and then I was better and conscious. Then I had to wake up, and now what happened is that she just started, oh baby, why are you trying? No, no. So that was the last time I think I saw her. because I walked away and I never came back. So this time I'm still not healing. So I went to that. I remember that was the day when I went to the hospital and they took me because they asked me why did you have this kind of feeling that you want to kill yourself, and then they decided to take me to the mental hospital. And in the mental hospital, they started giving some medicine, which they had to calm me down because I was still crying. I was very emotional. I felt like the world was over for me. And they started guiding me and telling me, okay, you can do this, but which never worked because every time I was asking myself when I'm in that hospital, I'm here because I loved someone. Never did for, I forgot the song, Only Fools Fall in Love. Wise men say, only fools. Yeah, that song. So, so what happened is that right now I had to ask that they should just let me go home and I can just take. Okay, I'll just try what I can do. So they just gave me some medicine which they has a lot of side effects in my brain. So because I remember after I left this hospital, after 1 week, I still had this feeling that I need to die. No, I have to commit suicide. And I remember life is so funny because that time the school was learning fine. I never had any issue. My exam I had passed my exams and everything. But right now, whatever is just making me this is because I got separated with someone who I saw like she was the last person in my life. So right now I give this story because it is always the funniest thing. I try to think, what was you doing, Nick? Why should you try to commit suicide? So after I went back home, it was not the last time. So I decided, no, I don't want to die another painful death. I've tried to drink alcohol, go to the street, and commit suicide. It never worked. I have jumped from the car. It did not work. Right now, I'm just going to take some paracetamol and some aspirin. Then I drink alcohol. I combine with sleeping medicine. Then I just die when I'm sleeping. So I remember this day because I had a night shift. I came back home. And when I came back home, what happened is that it was in the morning. So because I was still tired, I decided right now is the time now to do this. So I took the sleeping medicine on top of the how my body was feeling at the time. Then I took some alcohol because you cannot die when you're happy. So you have to drink alcohol and say, okay, my life is now becoming a mess, and I now have to take this medicine because I want to die. Man, don't ever, and I advise anybody, never ever try to take risk with your life because when you die, you die. You're never coming back. But life can change. It can change because that was in 2019. Right now I'm in 2023. April, because that was in 2019 April. 3 years, man. I don't think that is 2020, 21, 22, 23. 4 good years, man. But right now I'm here giving a story. What if I died? Who could have been giving you this story? Oh, man. So what happened is that I took medicine, and after 3 days, I think I woke up again. It's very weak. Right now, my health is going down. I'm losing weight. I'm looking like a zombie, and I don't love myself. So after when I woke up, I called a hotline in Germany. They give you like when you have some suicide thoughts, you can call this number, and then we are going to help you how you can go in. So I remember I called this number, and what happened is that the person who picked, he asked me, "Where are you?" I told him I'm at home. And he asked me, "Do you know any hospital near you?" So I came with a thought, am I going back to go to the place where I was in the mental hospital? I said no. But again here, I took some paracetamol, which anybody who has the knowledge of medicine will understand. Panadol don't kill you the first day. They kill you after some period of time because of the liver failure. So I was very sure even if I don't die today and I hide what I did, if I don't get the antidote, then I'm just going to die one day. So I said, no, I'm just going to the hospital where I used to work. So I just went there. I called a doctor who I knew. I told her, I just need your help. I was drunk, so that's what I lied. I was drunk last weekend and I took some medicine and paracetamol. And when I woke up, I think those there were more than I was supposed to take because I have some issues and whatever. But I told her my life is not going well at the moment, and I have been taking some depression medicine, so I think things are not so good as I think. So she told me wait a bit. Then she went and communicated with the other doctors, and they told me, Nick, you have to go to the ICU. And I was like, oh man, now in ICU because of my stupidity of trying to kill myself. Okay, I was like, okay, there's no any other option. Those people knows me. It's the way I work. So now they're going to talk my story the whole week and say this young guy from Africa has given up his life here and what to kill himself. So I just went there. I think I spent there like a week. And then I remember the last day I was asked there, how fear, maybe I'm not strong enough to go to a work or to go to live alone. Maybe I should spend. So I told them, no, I'm okay right now. I've decided I made my decision and this is not going to happen again. So I went home and I decided, no, I'm not going to kill myself again. I can't do that anymore. This is now too much. 3 times there will be not the fourth time. Now, if I die, I will die. Or I will just go and never come back. So now the problem was that the medicine that I was taking, they were still giving me so many emotions. Sometimes I could feel I'm down. Sometimes I had to take those medicine to live. But those medicine helped me because I'm telling you, I finished my school taking those medicine. But now here is what happened. The same year, 2019. I remember it was on November 11. I was just at home. I came from night shift. I slept the whole day. Right now, my life was just going. I had even started making friends. By the way, my life was going right now on the positive direction. But the Satan has not left me. He was still like, okay, I want to, I want to do you this. I want to make your life work. So after I woke up at around 6 in the evening, I called a friend, the same Tom, because I had his number. I told him, Tom, what are you doing? He told me, okay, Nick, I am not busy, so you can just come maybe drink 1, 2 beers. I was like, okay, let me just go back there. And we went. So this is what I have never told anyone. It remained a secret for the very long time. And I feel guilty. I've told some people personally what happened on this day. When I went there, so Tom wanted to have a white, like he wanted to have many customers. And because Tom knew right now I've been 3 years in Nuremberg, so I knew people there. So when I went to him, so this was his plan. He so gave me an idea how we can be selling drugs, making more money, becoming rich. And whatever I said, this was the baddest day, but was also the best day of my life because I personally was drinking alcohol. I don't smoke, and I never took drugs. Never. I was like, no. So this day, when I remember he told me there's a powder here. Just try it to make you feel some, yeah, positive things in your life, and also you can drink more alcohol without you getting drunk. So human are human. We make our mistake. So what did happen is that I took the powder and things started changing because I remember what happened is that I started talking to him rude, and we were in a bar. I remember we were in a bar here because he had some part-time job, so that's why he could do his business, whatever. So after I took the medicine, so I started becoming, I think after some like 30 minutes, I started becoming rude to other people there, and I was like, okay, don't talk to me this way, don't do to me. So the bar owner said, now we have to kick you out. You have to leave this bar. So they kicked me out. They told Tom, you are. They talked to him some very rude words, like okay. So I had to go home. But I remember it was allowed 12 a.m. at night, and in German they close the train stations. So when I went to the train station, what happened is that the train station was already closed, and right now what was going to happen is that I had to wait until they allowed 5 a.m. in the morning so that I can take the train home. Those people live where they know very well in November, the weather here is starting to get cold because in December it's winter. So I could not stay outside. So I went to another bar. Those people knew me, I think, from also from Tom because one day we went to drink there, and I'm a very, for me, I like talking with people. I'm a very happy person. Like we can exchange things and whatever. So I went there and I took my beer, and then someone came and told me, okay, why are you drinking beer alone? So we can just, there's another place here where people are dancing. But I was feeling, no, I'm not fit for anybody to be around me. I just wanted my time. At 5 a.m., allowed 5 a.m., 10 minutes, the bartender told us, okay, you have to go out because I want to cross the bar. Okay, what happened was I started resisting again. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going out. I just want to stay here and drink my beer in peace and whatever. So a guy came from behind and